What do you genuinely just not understand? How the brain really works. How a lump of meat gives us thoughts, emotions, that voice inside our heads. To be fair, no one understands consciousness. It's the world's greatest mystery. Edit, oof, this comment really brought out the well actually brigade. Do me a favor and don't reply to this with some comment trying to explain neuroscience. That's missing the point entirely. I've followed 3 courses in the past year about consciousness. I've read so much, made so many assignments, attended so many lectures. I have legitimately only gotten more confused. Edit, wow, first silver. Thanks for making my day smile. Why do I keep opening the fridge every 5 minutes when I know there's nothing in there? Because you're lowering your standards. How 1 horse can pull up to 8,000 pounds, but 2 horses can pull 24,000? Furthermore, if the horses are friends, they can pull up to 32,000 pounds? Does this mean 10 horses can pull the earth? Only if the 10 horses are friends. Friendship is magic. I see you, brony. Vsauce, Michael here, can 10 bronies pull the earth? Let's find out. But first, what is the earth? Or rather, what isn't? How come I hate myself and am desperately insecure, yet I think I'm better than everyone else at the same time? WTF, brain? Because how you see yourself and how you see others are 2 different things. You judge yourself by your potential while you judge everyone else by what they've done. You judge others by their actions and yourself by your intentions. Space. It's such a massive entity that imagining even small units like galaxies is hard. How on earth are there pictures of the universe? Is there more? Where does it all end? Absolutely fascinating, but there is so much more to learn. Edit, wow. Thanks for gold. I'm reading everyone's replies, but it's hard to come up with something clever to everyone. By pictures I mostly mean artist imaginings and those sort of portrayals. I know there aren't actually pictures of it. Where does it all end? For me, this is the scariest question. Isn't it a paradox? On one hand, it can't go on literally forever, it must end somewhere. But if you get to the end, what's on the other side? I can't wrap my head around it. Why does it have to end? The idea of everything having a start and end point is a human idea based off of our perception relative to the world we live in. What was before the Big Bang? And if the universe is expanding, what is beyond its edge? Contrary to one of the more popular comments in here, why I can't draw well. Like, I know how a normal human face looks like. I can even put a picture next to it and try to replicate every line. Yet, in the end, it looks shitty. Why? Hashtag X200B, edit, thanks for my first ever Reddit gold and silver. Here are some of the most frequent suggestions in the answers for people who don't want to go through all of them. Draw with the eyes, not the brain to help with that. You can try turning the reference picture upside down to focus on the actual lines as an extra help. You can layer the picture into a grid pattern to get the proportions right, and for all aspiring artists, practice. You might be focusing on the whole picture more than the individual parts. A lot of art teachers will make beginners turn their reference photo upside down and draw it that way just so they can focus on what the lines and shadows actually look like rather than what their brain thinks they should look like. This is similar to a tip I heard once about searching for an object in a room. English-speaking people mostly do everything left to right. When looking around, you'll usually do the same thing, forming a cohesive picture of the entire scene, just like those sentences with duplicated words that our brain autocorrects. Scanning right to left instead kind of forces you to focus on individual objects and makes a search easier. Probably just in my head, but it seems to work for me. I used to work for an armored car service, and we were trained to do this when moving between the truck and banquette. Scanning right to left, you'll definitely notice a lot more in locations you're at often. It's the same in search and rescue. And the same in walk-in refrigerators in commercial kitchens. If you can remember what you went in there for. Honestly, politics. I get some stuff, and I'm trying to educate myself more on different issues, but anytime someone tries to bring up certain issues, how I feel on certain matters, etc., I just tell them I don't have enough knowledge on the topic to have a strong opinion on the matter. Makes me feel stupid sometimes, but better off that than stir the pot on something I know next to nothing about. I just tell them I don't have enough knowledge on the topic to have a strong opinion on the matter. Hearing you say that would immediately make me respect you. I wish more people thought like this, myself included. There's nothing worse than someone pretending to know everything. See, most politicians. Why some people can't understand that to have space to get in, you need to let the people out first. Jesus, yes. Let the people out of the train, then you can get on. It's not leaving with the doors open. Radio frequencies. It's crazy how it can just end up playing music out of the air. How we sometimes understand something differently from another person even though we are looking or experience the same thing. Past memories affect how to deal with current issues. As an example, person A has never had hardship, so they get ducked up from the situation they experienced with person B, who has experienced hardship and deals with the current situation better. How TVs work. A signal is broadcasted over the air by a tower. Within that signal is audio and video data, which I suppose both must be joined together. Somehow, the TV knows how to interpret the signal and say here's the audio and here's the video. Fine, I can get that. But, somehow the signal also includes data that says, here's the top of the image, here's the bottom, here's the left, here's the right, and here's all of the colors in the picture. I don't know what's going on there and I've wondered how much data can be packed into a TV signal. This technology has been around for decades and I don't understand it. I don't even want to think of how Wi-Fi works. Edit, as others may have mentioned, there's other complexities in TVs such as closed captioning, picture-in-picture, and VCRS, that are in a common household item that we take for granted. Thanks for all of the explanations. I'm not going to be an expert, but y'all have helped me grasp the concepts. How you can drop something on the floor and it seemingly disappears instantly. Then later you find it like 10 meters away. Especially when the material shouldn't even be able to bounce that far. When you drop an eraser or pencil and you see where it landed, then when you bend down it's across the room. How people can draw and paint well. Years of practice and a little bit of liking to it. No more than that, really. You can have minimal skill, be 15 years practicing and boom, you draw well. The key word there is practicing. If you spend 15 years doodling without putting in active effort to learn techniques and improve on your flaws, then you'll still be the same level 15 years later. Source: learning the guitar is a pain in the ass. How our brains remember we forgot something, but can't remember what it was. Like, how do you know you forgot something? If you forgot it, then you wouldn't know about it, right? How does the brain just know that? Edit, wow, it's been a bit lol. Thanks for all those who answered giving their own explanations and examples. It actually did help me understand more. Still, seriously fascinating. We are just all giant computers, really lol. And for those that got my username, I like you, you deserve a cookie. You remember the act of learning, or trying to learn, the thing but not what you learned. I might remember I studied my flashcards last night and I might remember they were French food vocabulary words, and I might remember that grapefruit was one of the words I'd been studying, but none of those are things I had to learn. I failed to learn the French word pamplemousse, but I didn't have to learn anything else to remember the entirety of the rest of the process. How bad people can live with themselves. This can go from murderers to something as stupid as always taking someone else's food from the fridge, or cutting people off in traffic. Everyone is the hero of their own story, and people rarely think of themselves as bad. More scientifically, people are far more likely to attribute their own decisions based on external circumstances and judge strangers assuming their actions are due to internal circumstances. For example, if you cut someone off, it's only because you had a good reason. Maybe you just got some bad news, maybe you are running late for a doctor's appointment, maybe you just didn't mean to do it at all. If someone else cuts you off, it's because they're a bad person. What they did was rude, selfish, and dangerous. Why can't they just be half a second late? Are they in a huge hurry to go duck their mother, or what? When you do it, you're a good person doing something bad for good reasons. When a stranger does it, they're doing something bad because they are a bad person. Yes. You are spot on. I can't recall what book it was, but I believe it was by Gretchen Rubin, where I read, if someone else's phone rings during a movie at the theater, it's because they are a selfish bore. If my phone rings during a movie at the theater, it's because it's important that I be able to take a call from the sitter. Edited to add, just want to make it a little clearer that I do not do this, lol. It's an example from a book. I put my phone on silent and check it every once in a while from beneath my jacket like a normal person.